Welcome back, everybody. So, two changes designed to end the criticism over controversial religious freedom bills are now signed into law. The governors of Arkansas and Indiana gave their final approval yesterday after days of intense criticism. Indiana's change bars service providers from using the law as a legal defense for refusing to provide goods, services, facilities, or accommodations, while Arkansas's change makes it more like the federal RFRA, but only addresses actions by the government, not businesses or individuals. But how far do these changes really go? Ian Millhiser is the justice editor at Think Progress. He's also the author of Injustices, the Supreme Court's history of comforting the comfortable and afflicting the afflicted. Ian, it's good to have you here. So take us through both of the states and the changes, how they're going to be enacted. What do they do?
Sure thing. So both of these, it's important to understand, are very modest fixes. In Arkansas, it really isn't much of a fix at all. So there are 22 states that have explicit protections for LGBT people at the state level. Neither Indiana nor Arkansas is one of them. So both before and after the fix, in most of both states, if you're gay, you're not protected from discrimination. In Indiana, there's some municipalities. Indianapolis, for example, has a local ordinance protecting gay people. Under the Indiana fix, that now cannot be trumped by religious objections. So if you live in Indianapolis and you're gay, you do have some protections. In Arkansas may be the worst, most anti-gay state in the country now, because their law actually forbids localities from passing pro-gay laws. So
right, something they passed earlier in the year was the anti-discrimination law.
No, that's exactly right. and so my point is that these fixes do very little. You know, they prevent some encroachment on gay rights, but they don't expand the already very narrow scope of rights in those two states.
Ian, I want to give a quote and show it to everybody from the editorial that appeared in today's Indy Star about the change. It reads in part, quote, "The revisions will not satisfy everyone by agreeing to address legal protections for LGBT citizens in cities with local anti-discrimination ordinances. Republican lawmakers have upset many social conservatives, a key part of their political base. Now, on the other side, some advocates for gay rights are not satisfied that the efforts will go far enough." But for those that are against this, the social conservatives in Indianapolis, the other day the Indy Star also pointed out, Ian, about Advance Indiana. This is the nonprofit lobbying group that's run by the lobbyist Eric Miller. And they noted that among the things that will happen, Christian bakers, florists, and photographers would now be forced by the government to participate in a homosexual wedding, or else they'll be punished by the government. That's not right. So basically what this website did was expose the fact that this wasn't about Hobby Lobby as it was about marriage equality coming to Indiana in the fall.
No, that's right. I mean, and I should say, you know, I'm not satisfied with this fix. I support gay rights, and I don't think it's too much to ask that every state there should be a rule saying you can't discriminate against people because they're gay or because they're trans. Now, that said, what happened in Indiana is a huge defeat for the Christian right. And the reason why is because they have been saying for years that their firewall, they think they're going to lose on marriage equality, they think they're going to lose these battles ultimately, and their firewall was supposed to be these religious objections, that even when they lose, objectors would be exempt from these gay rights laws. What the backlash in Indiana shows is that the American people just aren't going to buy that. And, you know, Mike Pence is one of the most conservative governors in the country, and even he ultimately decided that he had to cave on this issue. So it is a big political defeat for the Christian right here.
Ian Millhiser, great to see you, Ian. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.